I talked about this topic before, but now we have to go into a little bit more detail. The British government wants to exempt transsexuals from a ban on conversion therapy for homosexuals. The Tories justify this with the threat of demarcation problems, but political motives are also likely to be involved. Boris Johnson once laid the basis for his political rise as a liberal conservative. Cosmopolitan Londoners twice elected him mayor. The fact that the father of 7 children who is married for the third time does not follow conservative moral concepts contributes to this appeal. At the last Tory party conference, Johnson sent his wife Carrie as a guest of honour to the reception of the largest British LGBTQ organisation, Stonewall. But now the Prime Minister has fallen out with Stonewall and around 100 other LGBTQ organisations. As a result of the dispute, the government had to cancel an international conference on gay rights because the groups threatened to boycott the event. The reason for the rift is Johnson's about phase to a ban on so-called conversion therapies. This should explicitly penalize the healing of homosexuals, for example in free church or Muslim circles. At the beginning of April, it first leaked out that the government wanted to drop the ban. An outcry of outrage then prompted Johnson to partially back down. Now the controversial practice is to be banned for homosexuals, but not for trans people for the time being, which the LGBTQ organizations reject. The government justified its change of heart by saying that banning conversion therapy for trans people could have unintended consequences. The government fears that a legal ban could also be used against teachers, doctors, therapists, or parents who advise minors who feel they are in the wrong body and are considering changing their gender. Critics object that countries like Germany and France have already banned conversion therapy. It is possible to legally separate the practices of quacks and religious healers from those of doctors and therapists. You just have to make a proper law there. Some observers recognize Johnson's turnaround as a political attempt to fuel the culture war over transgender people with a view to the next elections. The Prime Minister recently stated that he does not believe that biological men should be allowed to compete in women's sports. In fact, the trans debate is causing difficulties for the opposition. Labour politicians fidget when asked what defines a woman. Its young urban electorate calls for full recognition of trans people as men or women, but many older Labour voters are reluctant to accept a purely social definition of gender. However, even among the Tories, it is not undisputed how strongly the government should push the culture war over trans people. Representatives of the liberal wing of the party have already rebelled. Lord Nick Herbert, Johnson's special LGBTQ envoy, has called for the establishment of a royal commission of experts to decontaminate and objectify the debate. And I hope he can put that through in his own party. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.